Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing another Disney debate with my three other friends. We're going to be doing which Disney characters deserve to join the Disney official princess lineup. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy this.
So my first princess that I picked is Maid from Hercules. I think she should be on the official list because, first of all, since Hercules is the son of Zeus, who is the king of all gods, that makes him a prince, and that will make Megara a princess. Just hear me out, Emily, before you start thinking. But that kind of gives her like a link to a royalty, which is kind of a thing during the official lineup since Cinderella, Belle, and yeah, I think and Tiana are linked to royalty now since they're married to Prince. And she also did like a noble sacrifice, which tells young girls to always do selfless acts for others. She can be witty and sassy, which proves she doesn't need no man to tell her what to do. And she's a really fun character everybody enjoys. And I think she'll be really good in the official lineup. Any arguments against that?
That didn't help too much. I mean, the only thing I had to say was, well, technically Zeus is not the king. He's the like the main god, right?
He is the king of the whole god.
He's the god. He's the god of the gods, right?
No, he's the main leader. He's the main king, the chief.
But he's not the king. So Hercules is not exactly the prince. Is he a demigod? He's a demigod, right? Is he a demigod?
Okay, no. If we're focusing on the Disney film, he's not a demigod, but in myth, he is.
Wait, so in the film, his mother is
Hermia, the goddess. She's a queen of the gods. But in Greek mythology, his mother was mortal.
I do remember the noble sacrifice, and I can see why that would be like a good characteristic.
She also learned her lesson because when Hades ordered her to find out Hercules' weakness, she backed out because she doesn't want to hurt him anymore. She realized she's in love with him. She realized this is wrong, and she owned up to her own mistakes. I think that's a good lesson to teach young girls, like learn from your mistakes and work them out.
Or like the other two.
The next princess who I really admire, even from a young girl, is Lucy, the little girl from the Chronicles of Narnia. Although she's not animation, she is live action. But I think she's a really good. I think she's a very like a loving princess in a way because during the entire film she is probably the most faithful one out of all her siblings. She's always had faith for Aslan, who is a lion, who is technically like the commander of Narnia, who helps out. And while others lost faith in Aslan, thinking he's not going to help them out, she didn't. She still having faith when no one else did. She's also an animal lover. She makes friends with many creatures in Narnia, which is similar to how the official princesses are. Like that's one of their main comments. They have to be in a good relationship with an animal. So like Ariel with Flounder, or Merida with a horse, or and she's also, and Lucy basically has a close relationship with a lion. Not to mention that she rode a lion, so that's gotta be a heroic thing to see. But she's full of courage and she's adventurous and she never stops believing. I think that's everything a little girl wants to be, a heroic woman. And actually, one point when she was being called Leia by her siblings for thinking that Narnia is a make-believe world, she actually, in the middle of the film, she comes to forgive her siblings once they discover that she wasn't. So forgiveness is one of the best qualities that she has, and I think that's really admiring.
Yeah, I love the Chronicles of Narnia, apart from the third one. But yeah, and I love Lucy. I think she probably is my favorite. I don't have anything against, actually, which
Yeah, it would be cool to see a live action princess as well.
Mm-hmm.
and like to start that off for like potential other ones in the future.
Yeah.
My next one is Tiger Lily from Peter Pan. Now, even though she had a short timing in the film, she's actually very heroic than people give her credit to. So in the film, we see Captain Hook, the villain, kidnaps her and ties a rope around her, left her on a small rock in a cave, and he threatened to let her drown when the tide comes in, unless she reveals the secret hideout of Peter Pan. Now, she refused to answer, showing her loyalties toward Peter Pan as a close friend, even means throwing her own life. She wouldn't reveal his secret hideout. She's also described as a fierce warrior and a very heroic leader. So I think she doesn't really get much credit as she should. And I hope that Alicia, who will play Tiger Lily in the upcoming film Peter Pan and Wendy in 2022, I think, how she will continue this fighting spirit, this sense of heroicness for the character. Okay, so my next one up is Nala from The Lion King. Now, I know what you're all thinking. She's an animal. She can't join the official list. But you're forgetting Ariel was a mermaid, so she's not human either. So why can't Nala join in? As part of the Disney princess style, they have to give a good example for young girls everywhere. And Nala has pretty much gave a great example to all girls around the world. So she escaped from the Pride Lands when it was becoming a drought, and she left to find help to save her home, and she did. And she was the one that convinced Simba to return home to take his rightful place as king and in the circle of life. And without her, Simba wouldn't have never come. And the Pride Lands would still be in disaster.
Okay. There's so much to say. Okay. The first thing you said was that Nala convinced Simba to go back, and she sort of did, but I think it really was seeing Mufasa's ghost that really did convince him to go back. That's the first thing. But let me say, you are right. She's a really good role model. That is great. But to join the official Disney princess lineup, like, sorry, it's a no. It's a no. The main thing being she's a lion, which makes me sound really specious. It makes me sound really specious, and I'm so sorry.
Wow.
So sorry.
Like I said before.
I'll address it. I'll address your Ariel point. Hold on.
She's a
Get into
specious.
it. Is that even a thing? Is that a thing?
You're an animalist. You are an animalist.
That sounds so wrong. Yeah, okay, so you're right. Ariel is a mermaid, but at the end she is human. I mean, for the majority of the film, she actually is human, no? And I just think, again, Nala is a really good role model. I'm just not sure she should join the official Disney princess lineup. And it's just a thought that, like, as young children, I think, like, I feel like I'm more likely to, like, understand, like, the deeper meaning of, like, a movie if it had, like, this is gonna sound so bad, but like, as children, just remember, as children, and more likely to understand it if it's got like humans in it than with animals. I just really like the story. I really love the songs, really love the characters. I mean, that's why it's my favorite film. But I don't think I ever learned anything from it. Whereas if I like compare it to something like Spirit when I was little, yeah, I did learn stuff from that, and that had humans in it. Even though the horse was like a horse, sorry, should probably Spirit was like the main character.
What lesson did you learn from Spirit?
You saw that the Native Americans were getting treated terribly, and you could just see like how it was affecting them, how they were like being like treated. But anyway, sorry, but my point is just that she's a lion.
From Spirit, but you didn't get that from The Lion King.
Because it was so much more obvious. Because you could really see it because you could relate to it because because we are human ourselves.
In the Lion King,
Okay.
most of the animals have like a few human characteristics. Let's admit, they all like for a big example, Timon, he's walking on 2 feet, he's grabbing stuff with his 2 hands. I mean, that's kind of like...
Don't meerkats walk on 2 feet? All of the stuff I've seen is
they
meerkats
crawl
walking on 2
on
feet.
4 feet. They can stand on 2
They
feet.
walk on 2 feet. They walk on 2 feet. No, Tess?
No, they
Have you
don't.
not seen it? Like the posters at like the zoo and stuff. I swear I saw the meerkat, and they don't walk like that. They walk like upright. They don't.
Audience, do you agree with me or Emily? If you want to pick,
let us know.
Let us know in the comments below.
This is another debate. Okay, but I agree. They do have human characteristics.
No, but they have like
characteristics. They do, but they aren't human. I just feel like at that young age, we're more likely to relate to humans because we see that's what we are ourselves. Whereas, like when we're older, we see ourselves.
I did learn a lot from the Lion King, to be honest. Okay, my fifth one is Maid Marian from Robin Hood. So you don't necessarily need to be a natural princess to be an official princess, but you can have a few royal connections. So she does. Apparently, she's somehow the niece to King Richard. I'm not sure how, because she's a fox and he's a lion, but that's for a whole other story. So, like with Nala, she's not human. She's a fox, and it's like Zootopia. She's all in clothes. Beyond being literally a fox, she is kind, courageous, and she's willing to stand up for what is right. During the classics, all Disney princesses fall in love in first sight, and that's all right for Maid Marian. Well, it doesn't exactly happen to her because she and Robin knew each other when they were young children, so she was already in love. And she stood up to save Robin Hood during the archery tournament, and she stayed with him in the in Sherwood Forest and married him. And because she knows, despite being an outlaw, on the inside he's actually a very good and honest man who steals from the rich and gives it to the poor. As famous as it could be.
I think I watched it once as a very, very young child, so she's not quite vivid in my memory right now. I apologize. I do know who you're talking about though, and she was great. So
Wait, Zootopia?
No, Maid Marian.
Oh no, I've never heard of that. I heard Fox.
Wow,
Took only Zootopia away from that.
I know you said maximum 5, but I couldn't leave out this one because I think she deserves the list. So in 2012, Disney has officially owned the rights to Star Wars. So I believe that Princess Leia should be on the official Disney princess list. And here's the reasons why. She is probably the most greatest and memorable princess in all of film history. When you think of Star Wars, you probably think of Princess Leia. Definitely, like 60% of everyone will say that. She is naturally born a leader and has connection to the Force. And she's a great example to anyone who thinks that princesses are lame and they should be, and that they're like not really good. They should let all the men do the work. Not Layla. She's not that. She steals a gun. She steals a lightsaber. She also been through enough torture by Darth Vader, who hurt her to get through her secrets in order for him to take over the entire galaxy. Even though she doesn't sing or anything, and she doesn't much have animal like sidekicks unless Chewbacca counts. But she should be on the official list because she is an outstanding princess. Not to mention the fact, if she does go on the list, she'll be the first princess that is based in space.
I don't see why we're joining Star Wars characters into the list. I feel like if we are to do this, there should maybe be a separate list. I feel like Star Wars is its own universe. Marvel is its own universe. And we should not like merge it into this Disney
But
official.
now it's owned by Disney. She's basically a Disney princess.
I don't know if I'd call her a Disney princess. I would call her a Star Wars princess.
I don't know. I'm very on the fence about this one. Emily is right. It is a kind of different thing. Like it's its own franchise. She is the princess of that franchise, and with Disney, it is separated. It's different.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with Nani from Lilo and Stitch. So she's not royal. She didn't marry a prince. But I think she's actually a really good role model, which is something I think I'd like to see in all of the official Disney princesses. Like, I want to see some reason for them to be like on that list, and I feel like that reason would be because they've done something special. So Nani raises Lilo from the day since their parents died, and she had to actually grow up early in order just to take care of Lilo. So she pushed aside everything of her life. So she didn't actually care about her future plans, her career, higher education, dating even. She literally just puts Lilo's interests first. Yeah, and she literally just looks for a career for Lilo just so that she can support her and just make sure that Lilo is like well taken care of, that she stays with her because she doesn't want them to get separated, which is something I guess Lilo sort of understands, but I don't think the real significance of it, like she doesn't really get that. But Nani really gets that because she knows that Lilo is like the last person, like her last family member. And so yeah. And she actually never complained at all. Yeah, she got frustrated, but she actually never actually complained, you know? She just wanted Lilo to have a great childhood and just stay with her. And I feel like Nani would be something that people could look up to and just see.
I agree. I did like your choice of Nani, so I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, she's a very compassionate character. I really do feel for her.
I guess I'll move on to my next one. Raya. So she would actually be the first Southeast Asian princess because her dad's the chief, so she'd actually be an actual princess. So I guess first point would be that Raya's like the whole movie just has loads of influences and the characters as well from different countries in Asia. So Philippines, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam. So these are all like little children in these countries can look up to Raya and go, wow, you know? And I guess she really does show that you can be your own hero, that there's no need to wait around for a prince, which is what we see typically, you know, in the early official Disney princess movies. Honestly, we should come up with some abbreviation or something. But yeah, so when her father turns into stone, she didn't actually just wait around, you know. She actually went on a quest at such a young age just to save her father and save everybody else. But most importantly, you know, because it's personal to her father. And she also just shows how important trust is, because she started off like in the movie, you know, she trusted Namari, and then Namari broke her trust. And then, you know, she doesn't trust anybody. She thinks they're all, you know, she doesn't see the good in them because she thinks they're all out for their own. But then over the course of the movie, we see that she actually starts to open up, and she's actually putting her faith in her friends who she meets on the way and who joins her quest. And trust is actually what actually saves the day. So I guess it really does emphasize how important trust is. And yeah, she's just so brave. Her quest was like really dangerous, tons of fights, and she didn't back down. I guess the best word to describe her is that she's a warrior. And I think we need another one. I mean, we had Milan, we have Merida, who's sort of, but I think Raya is literally, you know, up there. I really think she should join the list.
Okay, I'm not saying she shouldn't because I actually admire her, and I think you're right. She's a tough warrior. She doesn't break down. She doesn't give up. I think Okay, one, if you from all the Disney princesses that have in common, one thing is that like they have like their own kind of like main song for themselves. So like Mulan is Reflection, Ariel is Part of Your World, Moana, How Far I Go. For Raya, I don't think she has one. And I'm not saying it's a big issue. I'm just saying like I think like some people might like find like she's kind of like lost that kind of identity that is to be part of an official Disney princess. I'm not saying she shouldn't, but I'm just saying like because to be honest, I was expecting some songs in the film. No, it's just like we don't hear that much about of like Raya's ambitions. And well, we know her mission, but like I think it would be better if she had her own like because like music is a big part of Disney. And I think that's just the one misstep for Raya. That's all. I think it's still a great film. I just think that's the one little missing piece of the puzzle. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. I agree that Disney's like the music in Disney movies does play a big part. But then I just want to take it back to some of the characters that you brought up. So Tiger Lily, you said she played a very minimal part. Did she have her own song?
Sort of. I mean, okay. What makes a red man red? It is a racist song, so that's not exactly a good start. But in the plays, they kind of change it to what makes the brave girl brave, which sort of based on her, which I think was really good. Thankfully, they changed the lyrics.
Okay, we'll go down the list. We'll make our way.
Oh
okay,
no, we're focusing on your list. We're focusing on your list.
But
now.
My point is that I just don't think there needs to be a song. I just feel like we just need to focus on the character. Like, yeah, you're right. Music does play.
No, but they had everything. They had
part.
everything right with Raya. They had like no, because like according to like like the Disney Wikipedia in a way, like all the Disney kind of characters have like they need to have kind of like a song. They sort of need to be human. They kind of need to be like royalty or married to royalty or did a huge heroic act like Mulan did. She saved China, and like what Maui said, like they need to kind of have like an animal psychic, and Raya had them too. I don't know why, but for me, just me personally, I just think maybe she just, I don't know, maybe some like music for her. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, it's just me.
I disagree. Annie, what do you think?
Sorry, I kept coughing, so I had to mute myself. But I feel like Grace said, Disney movies they all include a lot of music in them. And the fact that it didn't was a big change, but they'd done it well, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't missing it in a way, but if she was to become a Disney princess, that would be what like made her stand out from the others. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but she would be missing her like iconic song. Not that she needs it, but she would be missing it.
I mean, Jasmine's was like a duet, so like,
true,
are we
true?
Like,
or if you're counting the live action one, which is a bop, by the way. Love that song. I'm gonna move Hermes.
Okay, right. This is one I really stand for. Esmeralda. So she's one of the main characters from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and she actually was originally part of the lineup until 2004 when she was then removed. I'm not sure why. No, there was never really any reason, but I think they should reinstate her. I think she should join back on that list. She's basically the hero of Paris. You know, not technically, majority of the times, you know, when we think of heroes, I think, you know, in these films, we always see a male figure, you know, but actually in this film, it's a female, and it's Esmeralda. She wanted her people and outcasts like Quasimodo to be accepted into society and not to be treated as property. She just wanted equal treatment. And this sounds really familiar because, this is stuff that happens every single day for different people. Whether it's the homeless being treated horribly or people being treated differently because of race. I feel like this is something that's probably just gonna go on forever. So I really feel like she touches on one of those subjects which is something in society which will just be there forever, which is a really important message. And it also she also reminds me of one of the points I mentioned for Belle as to why I thought Belle was a good role model. So Esmeralda looks beyond our physical appearances and she doesn't judge, similar to like how Belle didn't judge the beast just on his physical appearance. She's an advocate for everyone. She spoke her mind. She was actually the only one who stood up to Frollo. No one else really did. She never focused on her own problems in the entire movie. She focused on everybody else as well. So in the song "God Help the Outcast," she mentions the phrase "my people," and she didn't say "for me." She said "my people," and when she said "my people," I think she was like talking about everybody, not just the gypsies. She was talking about the poor, the sick, the mistreated, the misfits, everybody. And so she's an advocate for literally everyone, like I said before. Loads of empathy for others. She's bold, she's kind. Like, I don't know what more you could want for like an official Disney princess. One of the like main quotes that I remember her saying was just, I thought it was really impactful. I'll just read it out. You mistreat this poor boy the same way you mistreat my people. You speak of justice, yet you will cruel to those most in need of your help. I just feel like that sums it all up, just about her character.
I agree. I do actually like Esmeralda. She's like one of the favorite heroines in all of Disney cinema. And I found the reason for why she was taken down was because her sales were financially disappointing. Like she wasn't, and Disney found it difficult to market her to younger kids. And I think because like Elsa, she's the oldest one of all the like Disney princesses. She's like 27, I think, or something. And
I don't really know, to be honest.
well, I just think like for the main Disney princesses, like on the official list, they all have to be quite young, like in the like from Snow White's age from 14 to Belle's age from 19. And well, Esmeralda was mentioned to be 16 in the novel. She's quite older, in her late 20s. So I think I do think it's I think she should be, but I think the main reasons why, because she's quite older than how she was meant to be. So if maybe she was younger, like 19 or something, then maybe she could still been on the list, perhaps. But I still kind of agree with you. I still agree with you for all those reasons. But I think there's an age thing to why she's not on the official list now, like why she was being removed.
So the first point about like why she was removed. So yes, that's what people said, but actually Disney never actually officially said that. So we actually don't know. That you're right. I saw that part about the sales and stuff, but I don't see why that matters, because at one point, maybe only 5 people watched it, but like 20 years time, you could have like 6,000. The thing is with movies is that it always, like, they don't age. You can watch them whenever. I mean, there are some ones that they deal with topics that are not acceptable, like how you mentioned Peter Pan in the song, like stuff like that. but they don't age. So I feel like you can watch them anytime. I feel like that's a really stupid reason, to be honest. But I can see why, because the whole official Disney princess thing is basically a brand. It's how Disney have like chosen to market like, princesses. And then your thing about the age,
that's what I heard in somewhere, but I don't agree with that, to be honest.
yeah, I'm not sure about the age thing. It just feels.
I mean, that's what they did for Elsa, because she's mainly a queen and she's quite older than the other Disney princesses. So I think that's quite similar to what they think for Esmeralda. Sorry.
It's fine.
I do actually agree with you.
Okay, so another one, which is Giselle, and I have heard quite a lot of people say that, because she's like live action mainly, they're like, she should join the lineup, but I don't think we should have. I don't think it's necessary to have a criteria like that. She's kind. She treats everyone nicely. She's brave. In that final fight scene, we see it actually a role reversal. Oh God, I don't know what's going on with me. So Giselle is the prince, the typical prince we see, in films, where, especially with like the first couple of official Disney princess films, we always see that the prince is always the savior. And Robert is actually the damsel in distress, which is, typically should be a female role. So that role reversal is like something that, especially something important for girls, just to see that, we can do it ourselves, we don't need to rely on men. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I just when I first watched Giselle, when I first watched Enchanted, I really liked it. The music was great. Giselle was it was a really different film, wasn't it? Because it started off like animated, and then it went into live action. So I mean, if we do need to see like an animated like image of her, as like technically all of the other princesses do have, so Giselle already has one, so it's kind of like problem solved.
I agree. I do kind of like that. I like the idea of like switching gender roles for a woman to be the hero and the man needs a saving. So I think that's really great that they got Giselle to save the day, and it's great. I really don't want to try to be ageist, but like I said before, the official Disney princess, they're all kind of target for like young audience, and like all the princesses are young, like in the teenage or early 20s. Giselle, according to Wikipedia, is 32, so she's technically the oldest out of all of them, and I just think that's far off. That's quite off limit for like if you want to trying to attract like a young audience, because if she was maybe like a younger or maybe like a young adult, maybe that would have worked somehow. But I think that is actually a good point. If you want to attract a specific audience, like a very niche audience of like young kids or young adults, then you need to get them with a character that is relatable to them.
So you think for a character to be relatable to a kid, it has to be someone young?
Well, like
because
they say,
as a kid, I don't think I ever thought, oh my gosh, she looks so old. Like,
I'm not saying old,
but
but someone who's kind of in like that stage, exactly like that, like for Snow White, she's 14, she's naive, she's lost, she's trying to find her own way. That's what a kid is going to go through. Or
see, I don't even personally think that Snow White is even 14. She doesn't even seem like she's 14 to me. Like, I don't know if it's just me
But
not
age,
being
that's
able
her
to tell.
age. That's the evidence.
But
That's proof.
if you never ever told me her age, you know, I don't think I would ever go, oh my God, Snow White is like 14 or below or something. I thought she was older, personally, you know. Same with all of them. I don't think I ever thought they were young, which I know it sounds weird, but like when I was watching the films,
when
I never
because
focused on that. Like, I just
no, because
focused
when you're
on
at a
like,
young age, you expect everyone to be bigger than you at any stage when you're young.
so
But when you
why
come to
isn't
becoming
Giselle
older,
fine?
but when you're becoming older, you see the resemblance.
So why isn't Giselle fine then? Because at that age,
No, but
like,
she's an adult, technically.
I mean, I don't know. It sounds very ageist, if I'm being honest.
Yes, says the woman who is specious.
Yes, but I think, but there's two different things.
I have nothing against her. I feel like she's a good role model. It kind of does go with the live action thing, but she is also animated, so it kind of balances. But other than that, I don't really see a problem. I think it's okay. I'm backing it. You're okay.
I passed the test.
I respect your decision.
Okay. I feel like this is gonna be quite heated. So the next one is Anastasia, which is she's from Fox. So let me just put this out. Tons of people, I don't know why, but tons of people think that she's actually from Disney. She was made by Disney. And I can see why, because we know the creators had links to Disney. Loads of people, including me, actually want her to join the lineup because she is such a cool princess. I really love her story. I love the character. I love the songs. Literally love everything. And, you know, before, like when they actually made the film, it wasn't possible because Disney, you know, Fox and Disney were separate. But now that they are together, all under Disney, can't she become one? I mean, that would literally fulfill so many people's wishes. She's actual royalty, so that's literally a tick. So she grew up with nothing after suffering from amnesia, and then she had to learn to do things on her own without support. So she literally had no help. So even though she was royalty, she literally started off as like a normal person. I don't know if that sounds right.
She was poor, wasn't she?
She was poor. She came straight from the orphanage because she couldn't remember anything. She couldn't remember her parents. She couldn't remember her life. So yeah, she grew up in the orphanage, and it seems like in the orphanage she didn't really have like a really good time there. I feel like, I mean, I'm not really sure because I don't really know much about Russia in terms of like, you know, in that day and age. But it seemed like there was a lot of people in that orphanage, so you know that doesn't really help. But yeah, I think she's just a really great role model. She defeated Rasputin herself. Again, we didn't see a prince or, you know, a male character really. She did that herself. She's pure of heart, and she isn't actually concerned with wealth, even though, you know, she's royalty. So, you know, she grew up just with wealth. But yeah, so we can see that her main priority is just get her family back. She just wants to know where she belongs. She doesn't care about the wealth, which is what Dimitri's after, which is why he wanted Anastasia, because he wanted to show her off to the Grand Duchess and then, you know, get the reward money for returning Anastasia. But yeah, we really do see that she really just put an emphasis on family and just never giving up. And just like, she started off with literally nothing. It's, you know, those movies where, you know, you always, I don't know, I actually can't think of any movies when I'm saying this now, but you know, like when you hear of like there's a car crash and then, you know, they wake up not knowing anything or they're in a coma. It kind of feels like something like that, you know? I just really, when did I even see this film? I feel like I saw this film like 29. What am I saying? 2009. 29. When was that? 2009 or 2010, and it's such a nice film. It's beautifully animated. The songs are beautiful. The characters are great. Puka, a little dog. I mean, honestly, I don't even like dogs, but you know, animated dogs are cute. I mean, hence the t-shirt. But, but yeah, I just feel like she's a really good role model.
Very cute.
So Ellie and we are saying Queen Anna. I guess like her characteristics is that she's very adventurous. She never gives up. She's like, even when she was a little kid, she always wanted to go to Elsa. Like she never gave up. Like, you know, when that song, what's the song called? Do you want to build a snowman? Like she keeps knocking. Like she never gave up. She just kept going back again and again. You know, I rate that. She is goofy.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you out now. Right.
It was a good start though.
It was a great start. As Tess said, she is a very determined princess. And although she has become queen, she was princess before that. So they're just gonna kind of like blur the lines a little bit on that one, because that was very temperamental, I guess. But she was always very determined. She's always very positive. She does everything she physically can for her people, her friends, her sister. She's like, even though she's not got powers like Elsa has, she does everything she physically can to make sure that she's doing the right thing and the best thing for everyone. She puts everyone's needs in front of her own. She also sees the good in everyone, which is something that I feel like kids need to see growing up, to make sure they see the world like in a different way, so that way everyone it just puts a different kind of faith in everyone if you see like the good, because obviously everyone's turning on her sister and she's the one person that sticks up and knows that there's good behind it all. So if we have that one person as our role model and we take that into our own lives and our own personalities, then the world will be a much better place.
Boom.
Thanks, Tess.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned how she's a queen technically. I don't see a problem with it personally, because Milan isn't even a princess, so like, doesn't matter, does it? Saying that, yeah, you're right, she's a really good role model and everything, but it might just be me because I'm really biased. But I didn't really like Frozen, to be honest. I didn't really like the film. So I might be very biased. Saying that, I really love the songs. The songs are really what made me. Yeah, I just love the songs. But yeah, you're right. She is a good role model. I still can't help see that she seems a bit
too naive,
immature,
too naive. I literally was thinking too naive, and she was. I just feel like she was too forgiving of her sister. Like her sister kept on letting her down, and she's just like, "I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you." I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
seriously,
Elsa literally blocked her out for years, and then suddenly they became close sisters in a snap.
Honestly, that never happens in the real life, does it?
No, I mean, not for me. I mean, it would take me days to forgive my sister if she, like, I don't know, like, step on my foot or something. But come on, that's.
No, if it takes Grace only days, it takes me years probably.
Everyone has different reactions to family,
maybe.
though.
Okay, she's also naive because she fell in love with a stranger straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. No, it's not just a Disney cliche. She said she loves him. They say they know each other, which he has been lying this whole time. He manipulated her and she allowed it. And she suddenly decided just to marry him straight away after like what, a day?
Yeah, I went.
It wasn't even a
Anna's not my
day.
favorite person. It was literally
No,
a couple of hours.
it was like half a day.
She's not got the best mindset when it comes to that kind of thing, but you also see that progression from that mindset through the film, which is what I think is good, because you see her grow and you see her adapt and you see her experience the real world and understand it more.
She
But up
never
until
get
that
to
point in her
experience
life,
the real world.
she's been locked away.
Been locked in a palace.
Exactly.
Oh,
Up until that point, she was locked away. So she didn't understand all of that manipulation, everything. She's like, oh my God, I've finally made a friend. I finally like found a guy that's like loves me and he's interested in me. All those books I've been reading
this
have
might
come
be
true.
I'm not sure if if this ever came to her, but like she should have done what Belle does. Read a book from a library. She's rich. She must have a library.
That's probably what she's basing it off of.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what she's basing it off of. Oh my God, all these romantic guys and all these books. I've just found my guy.
Romance.
No, not every book is about
Only
romance.
told about like self-defense or I don't know.
Well, I mean,
like,
she done pretty well. She fought a freaking snow golem. Okay, she done pretty well. She done well for herself. Okay, let's tone back on the hate for Anna right now. Okay, I feel like you guys have unleashed a side of you I didn't know about.
No, also,
the hatred you had for this film.
No, but also one little tiny mistake she does. She always puts herself in danger. So like when the snow monster throws her and the boys out, she throws a snowman back at the monster, which then leads them to attacking them again. She literally puts themselves in danger sometimes.
But then you can say that for any of them. Mulan goes off to war.
But she did herself in danger.
Yeah, I know. Okay, fair enough. Bad example. But she goes off. That was the first one that came to my head. That she goes off to war to put herself in danger. She threw a snowball. Okay, she threw a snowball. And bear in mind, it wasn't the smartest move.
She's stubborn.
She is very stubborn. I won't lie. But besides all of this, she still was doing what was in best intentions.
We do see that the princess meets the prince and they fall in love all of a sudden, and then they're all happy ever after. And I mean, I don't know why this was repeated again. I mean, at the beginning, because later on we do see it's a bit different, especially at the end, because she's actually with Kristoff. But I just feel like that was just the wrong message to give to kids at that point.
Yeah.
Because this is an issue because highlight Disney. Crap, what was that debate thing? What was that debate called? Are all official Disney princesses role models? That debate. We go through this sort of thing, especially for Snow White. It's just kind of like, in this day and age, why are we giving that message to kids? That should never have been a topic in the film at all. The fact that she fell in love with... Did she even fall in love? I don't think she fell in love, but she fell in love with Hans. I just felt like that was a really bad topic. Or topic, I don't know what you want to call it, but it was just a really bad thing to include in the film. Because it just went... Like, when I watched it, it just brought me right back, all the way back to Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, The Little Mermaid. It just brought me right back to that. And I don't think we needed that.
So guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Who should deserve to be in the official lineup? Do you guys agree with us or disagree with us? Let us know. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to see more debates, like Marvel or Disney or other ones. And stay tuned for more. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.